Joining me now for more on this, Michael Shoebridge, founder and director of Strategic Analysis Australia. Thanks for your time. So, Pacific Pacts are sort of all the rage, and we know it's very obviously to do with China. This one so obviously because the Solomon Islands have already got a deal with China. Does this possibly push China out? Because the PM said they keep their 14 police officers, but is there a hope that ultimately maybe they'll leave, or is that for long?
I think there's a hope, but I don't have that hope. I think China's policing presence is going to stay, and Beijing will look for opportunities to grow their security cooperation. So, this deal is about Australia accepting that the Solomons government wants a bigger police force to do more internal security, and we're going to help train and equip them to do that.
There was a challenge not long ago to the Prime Minister. Is this a deal that's very much with the government and the Prime Minister of the day? And is the concern that it sort of helps them hold on to power? It's not a deal with the country per se?
Well, I think there is that worry because this is a Prime Minister to Prime Minister deal. And the previous Solomon's Prime Minister and this one clearly think they want to use the police for their own purposes. But of course, if we hadn't done the deal and China had grown its police cooperation with the Solomons, that definitely would have happened. The Chinese police are an arm of the Communist Party. They do very violent crowd control and arrest dissidents.
Yeah, so they would have gone to China if not us, but what will we be keeping an eye on here, that it doesn't just become a government police force? So you've said there's a chance of that, but obviously there's only so much we'd tolerate.
Yeah, but how do we stop? This is a bit like the Solomons asked Mum, and if Mum didn't do it, they were going to ask Dad, and we didn't want Dad doing it. So we're kind of stuck. My concern is that small Chinese police training angle gives them approaches and techniques that would be pretty nasty for the Solomons population, but they apply those Chinese techniques using Australian supplied equipment. That's the worst case. But overall...
That would be, when we're looking at some of these pictures, when they do lose control, that would be the difference between trying to achieve peace or shooting to kill, not worrying, scaring people off by doing that, and what happens to people when detained in custody as well, I suppose.
That's right. So it's how does the Chinese program and the Australian program, how do they work together? And does a future Solomons government say, hey, I like the way these Chinese trained police roll, let's broaden that. Done. Yeah, luckily the Australians have armed us, but let's roll.
China-US relations, we know how important they are. What changes under Donald Trump, do you think, this time around? Because he's different. It's his last go at it, most probably. Always put a caveat when it's Trump. You never quite know. And he's ready for power this time. He was surprised he won the election last time, so it's going to start very differently at least.
I think you're right. I think anyone that thinks he's just going to whack big tariffs on China and that's what's going to happen is wrong. He's got people in his cabinet that are China hawks, like Marco Rubio at State, but he's got Goldman Sachs and Wall Street people that love making money out of China. And Elon Musk, he's got billions of dollars of investment in China and billions of dollars of investment in America. So it's going to be a deal-based relationship, as I see it.
Right.
And the big risk is Xi Jinping offers Trump what he offered Obama, a new kind of great power relationship, which is the two of them, Xi and Trump, dividing up the world between them and cutting allies and partners out of the deals.